Welcome back to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Hope, and each week I bring you step-by-step recipes that you can make in your own kitchen. Today we're making apple dumplings. This is a delicious, easy dessert that you can have on the table in under an hour. Now we're using canned biscuits today. This dessert is a warm, comforting, cinnamon spice dessert that's so good with ice cream or whipped cream right on top. Let's get started and I'll show you the ingredients. The ingredients for the apple dumplings are 4 apples. I'm using Honeycrisp. You can use any kind you want. Granulated sugar, brown sugar, butter, a can of refrigerated biscuits. I'm using Pillsbury Grands buttermilk biscuits, cinnamon, vanilla, and a half a lemon. Okay, we've preheated our oven to 375 degrees. I'm going to start just by lightly spraying a 13 by 9 inch pan with cooking spray. And we'll set that aside. Then we'll prepare our apples. I'm going to peel them. And cut them into 16 pieces total. So 4 pieces for each apple, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Some people just use a knife for this. I'm using my OXO vegetable peeler. If you're interested, you can check out the link in the description box below. Okay, I'm just going to cut it next to the core where I have 4 pieces for each apple, and that's what we're going to wrap. We're going to wrap the biscuit around that, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I'm going to add these apple pieces. As I cut them, I'm going to add them to a bowl. I'm going to put a little water and lemon juice in just to keep them from turning brown. That's totally optional. Now some of your apple pieces are going to be a little bigger than others, and that's totally okay. I'll set those aside for now and we'll prepare our biscuits. Now I'm using a Pillsbury Grands Southern Home Style 8 big biscuits. Okay, for each of these biscuits you want to separate it into 2 pieces. So you have a total of 16 then. And then we're just going to roll them out a little bit so that they have a better chance of fitting all the way around those apple pieces. Now you can certainly make your own dough for this, but this is something that is quick when you need a quick dessert, or you could even serve these for breakfast. Okay, so we've got 16 pieces now, and I'm just going to take my rolling pin and just lightly roll out each one. So this is totally optional, but I'm going to put some sugar, granulated sugar, in a bowl and sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon. And then I'm going to take an apple. Just roll it in that cinnamon sugar mixture. And place it on the biscuit. And then I'll do my best to bring up the biscuit dough around the apple and pinch it so it seals. So depending on how big your apples are, it might be kind of a stretch, but you can do it. The canned biscuit dough is really very flexible, and you can work with it. Okay, on this one I'm going to put the round side down and stretch it up over. I think it might work better that way. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And then we can put the seam side down and have a prettier presentation. If you find a little hole, just pinch it together. All right. Now some of your biscuits may end up being a little thinner than others. So for those, just take a smaller size apple. This is a fun dessert you can make with kids too. You can have them roll out the biscuits. Now, these are not going to be perfectly shaped, and that's okay. They'll still taste perfect. These apple dumplings are almost like having little apple pies. It's just a delicious dessert, and it's not just for fall either. At any time of year. After a few, you'll get the hang of it, and they'll come together really quickly. Just little bitty bundles of goodness there. Okay, so you can see how they're all a little bit different sizes. I just didn't cut my apples as uniform. So that made 16 pieces. Now we're going to put together the sauce to go over it. Okay, in a medium saucepan, I'm going to add in 1 stick of butter, 8 tablespoons. And we just want to bring these ingredients to a boil. So I've got 1 stick of butter, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of water, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we want to just bring that to a boil, and then we'll pour it over our apple dumplings. I mean, anything with brown sugar and butter mixed together, you pretty much cannot go wrong with that. Now we're just bringing this to a boil. We're not reducing it at all, so you're going to have quite a bit of liquid that's going to go over this, and that will cook down quite a bit in the oven and make a delicious syrup. We brought it to a boil, so we're going to cut the heat off now. And we'll bring our dumplings over. We're going to pour that butter-sugar mixture over the dumplings. Now don't be alarmed, there is supposed to be a lot of liquid there, so that's what it's supposed to look like. So on top of this, I have 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. So I'm just going to mix that up really well, and then we're just going to sprinkle it on top. All right, so I'm going to put this into the preheated 375-degree oven for 35 to 40 minutes. Ooh, look at that, straight out of the oven. Does that not look amazing? Look at the bubbling syrup coming up around those biscuits. Woo! The kitchen smells incredible. I'm going to scoop some of this up and we'll serve it with, if I have some vanilla ice cream, we'll do that. If not, we can use whipped cream. I think I'm going to take a corner piece here. Oh, heck. I'm going to take 2. These look amazing. So hot and delicious. Serve it with a little vanilla ice cream on the side. Let's get some of that delicious syrup that it made. Go right over the top. Look at that. Ooh. So good. Now we're going to do a taste test of this beautiful looking apple dumpling. This is best served warm. Little ice cream in there. Oh, wow. This is so good. That apple is so soft and cooked all the way through. Those canned biscuits, rolled out thin, make the perfect amount of crust around it. The cinnamon sugar on top gives it a little bit of crunch. And then that wonderful syrup. It looked like too much pouring it over, but it really cooked up into a nice, comforting, delicious, caramely syrup. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made easy apple dumplings. I really hope you try this. You will not be sorry. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell for notification of more videos. and share this video with your friends. And we'll see you next time.